Again, it's Mitch Allen, WeCan.me, video blog, just saying, just cause we can. You see all these, I believe they're called Sylvester palms. There's so many palms, it's hard to exactly tell. But all of these palm trees and the other little trees and then all the pine trees, they just planted them. You can kind of see all those pine trees over there have little stakes staking them up. This was all done probably within the last year. And this is called a beautification project or a landscaping project. And what they do after they plant these trees, they come in and what they would call properly maintain them. You can see the dead grass. I know it's kind of mixed in with the mulch, but you can see the dead grass around it. Now these trees, they did just 3 corners of this intersection. I'm at the corner of I-4 westbound lane, or actually eastbound lane, and US 27. Now this tree shows it much better. You can see the deadness. Now they came in and sprayed this glyphosate on it, this herbicide, and it says right on the bottle, do not spray under the drip line of a tree. This tree is probably a $4,000 or $5,000 tree, so there's $15,000 right here, and they have sprayed this glyphosate around each one of them. Each one of the bottoms of the trees are sprayed with glyphosate. It's crazy, or ridiculousness happening right in front of our eyes. They spend $1.86 million beautifying this area, which this retention pond has been here for 50 to 100 years. And there was no reason to beautify it, because these cars that are whizzing by here are doing 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, and I don't think they should be looking at the beautiful trees. They need to just be driving their roads. You know, you can't text, call, send messages, and look at the pretty trees all at one time. But each one of these trees has been sprayed under the drip line of the tree. You know, when you dig up a tree somewhere and you go plant it, I mean, look at all these Sylvester palms. Or they could be canary date palms. And then all those trees back there were just planted. And I'm gonna walk over there, but before I do, let me walk over to these pine trees. And you're gonna see the death sprays, as I call them. But when you dig up a tree, it goes into shock because you cut all the roots. And then you come in and plant it, and before it even takes root, and the proof it hasn't taken root is they still got the sticks on it holding it up, and you surround it with a herbicide, which is actually classified as a pesticide. It's also better known as a demineralizer, and believe me, we need minerals in our bodies, so do these trees. And this demineralizer has encapsulated the minerals in the ground. And that's actually what it did. They used it to clean boilers, and they could spray it on the broilers, and it would grab a hold of the minerals or the metals, and you could simply rinse the stuff off. But as, I guess, energy efficiency started, they did away with a lot of the boiler uses, and they don't use them as often. So I guess Monsanto said, what are we going to do with all this stuff? Wow, well, look at that. When we cleaned out that boiler, it killed all that grass. We'll just call it an herbicide. You know, herbs used to be healthy. Used to be a good thing to eat. But herbicides today are actually pesticides. And I know we all know we don't want to eat pesticides or drink them, but when you spray it on the ground, it's going to end up in our water. All these trees, I know without getting up close, it just kind of looks like mulch. But you can see the deadness. And they're everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. This is not mulch around here. It's where they've sprayed. I mean, that's all grass. That is not pine needles, that is grass. I mean, it's grass. And they've sprayed every one of these. Brand new trees. that we the people paid for with what I call we the people money. What a waste. And this stuff is linked to almost every disease, illness, and disorder out there. You know, I feel sorry for the kids that are out of control and their parents can't handle them, but this is what's causing it. The huge rise in the police officers kind of being out of control. This is what's causing it. I'm not a doctor or scientist, but I got enough common sense to read. And it is linking all of it together because it causes chemical imbalances in the brain. And this is ridiculousness. I mean, look at all these trees they planted. Like I said, $1.86 million worth. Beautifying a retention pond in an area that nobody can even really see. Where I'm standing, ain't nobody noticing this. And the real irritating part is I still have children in school. And we have an overcrowding problem. And they got money to beautify this shit, but they can't beautify my child's brain. They can't buy computers. They can't even build the schools. By the time they get a school built, it's overcrowded. You know, they spent $42 million for a school that will house 1,400 students. I'm gonna do the math on that. I can't do it in my head, but I'm gonna do the math on that and get back with you on my next video of what that costs per child. And I got some solutions to it. It's called Quit Doing This Shit. And we're gonna see cancer rates, disease, illness, and disorders go extremely down over the next few years. They claim to be looking for a cure for cancer. I got the cure. Quit spraying these chemicals. Just let's look at the pharmaceuticals that are advertising the legalized drug selling on TV. The pharmaceutical will cure one thing, and they don't even talk about curing. They say it may help you. Well, the chemical cocktail, that's exactly what it is. I call it a chemical toxic cocktail, may cause death or heart attack, stroke, and all these other things. And you can see every one of these trees have been sprayed. Brand new trees. But this chemical is really no different than the pharmaceuticals. They really don't know what it's doing, but the research is out on this glyphosate because they've been using it for over 50 years. And Monsanto's been caught hiding things. Imagine that. Big mega corporation hiding stuff. No different than Big Farm. And this is ridiculousness at its largest, hugest possibility. The waste of our money. And I'm mad as hell. And I'm going to get in front of the school board and I'm going to present my case and show them how to fix some stuff. And eventually I'm going to get in front of some kind of medical board and they're either going to throw me in jail or I'm going to fix some things. But what y'all can do for me is to like my page. Please like my videos, even if they're not all that good, because I'm no expert at this. But I'm doing everything I can, man. I just got this phone just a couple weeks ago. I'm not all that good at using it. But I'm out here doing my part to save all of our children. And hell, to save our own lives. You know, I'm 53. I've had a pretty good life, but I ain't ready to die yet. And I'm damn sure not willing to die a slow, miserable death called cancer and chemo and all that the cancer patients go through while they're claiming to finding a cure. Again, I got one. Quit doing this. And it will save the county budget. It will beautify our children's brain. And it might actually keep these trees alive. Because I'm going to go around to the other side where there's a couple dead ones. They just put them in. I can only imagine how they died. Anyway, thanks again for listening. Please help us out. Like our page, like the videos, share them out. All of that brings the awareness up and it will help this move forward. I hope God blesses us all and I will never stop.